Good morning in the green hell. How do I know it's a good morning? Well, we are still alive, and with this small series of tutorials, I will make sure it's going to stay this way. Because if you found this video, most likely you are looking for some tips on how to survive your first few days. And in my opinion, your first day or two are absolutely crucial for the rest of your adventure. One silly mistake in the beginning may cost your life or will cripple the rest of your game until you somehow manage to overcome the problems. Green Hell, in terms of interactivity, is a huge game, and cover all of its aspects would take ages. So let's start with the basics. No matter if you play a story mode or not after your first spawn, you will need a plan. Running around like a headless chicken is a bad plan. Good plan includes covering all the basic needs, that is shelter, fire, source of clean water, and a variety of food. First, look around and start gathering stuff. A stick, good small stone, great dead parrot, you lucky bastard. To survive your first day, you will need to learn how to craft tools. Most basic ones that will make your life much easier are a stone blade and a stone axe. Look around and find some stones, sticks, and lianas. Then open your backpack and crafting table. You can access your backpack by simply pressing S on your keyboard and choosing backpack in the menu, or which is my preferred way, by pressing tab. Now on the right hand side, you can open the crafting table at the same time. When you have both ready, simply drag and move the required supplies to the crafting table. To make a new tool for a stone blade, you just need 2 stones. For a stone axe, you'll need 2 stones, a regular stick, and a liana. Whatever you prefer, both of these primitive tools will help you push to the next step, and that's about as much as you need to know about crafting at this point. We will cover it in more detail in the upcoming tutorials. That's the time when we can think about some safe space to settle for a while. The right place can be extremely important. I decided not to waste too much time looking around and created my base near my first spawn. Close proximity to the water gives me a place to clean myself from dirt and will be a source of food in the future. Fishes are fairly easy to catch once you have a spear in the desperate time. This also may be a source of water, but drinking water straight from the lake or a river is a very risky move, and you shouldn't do that unless there is no other option available. We will talk about it in a moment. Now, to make your first shelter, go to the notepad and find the construction section. I decided to make a simple wooden construction with the roof made of palm leaves. I could pick some other less resource-consuming shape, but I prefer this one because it has enough space for a campfire and a bed. Once you place the construction in the desired space, grab your blade or axe and go to the forest. You can use your mouse wheel or 1234 keys to choose between 4 tools. Go and look for some medium-sized trees and hit them with the left mouse button. You will quickly notice that the tool is deteriorating as you use it, especially in the beginning. You will need to craft new tools quite often, but eventually, with the growth of your experience, your gadget will be more durable. When the tree is down, it will split in a number of different wood types like logs, planks, and different sizes of sticks. To build the base of my structure, I need 4 logs. You can pick more than 1 log, but you will not be able to pick other things in the meantime. The same applies to other huge or heavy objects like stones, long sticks, or palm leaves. Once the logs are planted, you will need 4 long sticks. If you happen to have 1 spell log on the ground, you can hit it once with your axe, and it will split into 2 long sticks. One important note: if you need long sticks, use the axe. Don't right-click to harvest the log, as this will result in regular sticks and planks. To finish, tie the sticks with the ropes and voila. Your very first structure is ready, but it's not going to do much without the roof. I went for the palm leaves for some reasons. I didn't want to damage the banana trees, as these are valuable sources of food in the beginning. On the other hand, cutting down the larger raffia palms is not the best idea, either, as this produce nuts. The best idea is to target smaller fun leaf palm. So again, take your tool and hit some palm trees with it. You can carry the leaves the same way you did with the logs and long sticks. Now when you have your first base, you can proudly call it a home and save the game. Look at the roof from the bottom and hold E to save your progress. Yes, it's a bit tricky, but it makes sense that you can only save your game in your home, doesn't it? It's a survival game after all. Now, two other things I would recommend finishing before the first night campfire and the bed. Both are easy to build, but can be time-consuming if you are worried that your stamina is getting low. I would recommend starting with the campfire. Why? Because if you run out of energy, you will simply not have enough power to start a fire. Basic campfire is easy to build, just a bunch of sticks that most likely you already have in your backpack if you gathered everything around. As I mentioned, the second part is a bit trickier. You don't have a lighter or matches, so you need a different type of fire starter. Open your crafting table and combine one stick with one small stick. Good. Now you need some flammable materials like dry leaves or bird's nest. If you walk around, finding a bird's nest is fairly easy, but in the long term, dry leaves are easier to acquire. Simply cut some smaller plants with your tools and over time, in about 12 hours, they will dry out in your backpack. Take it from the backpack and place them in the middle. If you have enough stamina, you will be able to ignite the fireplace. I recommend placing it on the edge of the hut, but not outside. The rain can easily extinguish the fire. I also recommend adding the wood quite often. It's easier than starting the fire every evening when you are exhausted. Time for a bed. It will help a lot if we manage to make it before the night. It's a very similar process to the roof. Open your knot, but select a structure, place it and bring a lot of palm leaves to finish the construction. At this point, you are most likely barely conscious out of exhaustion. If in the meantime you manage to find some foods like bananas, coconuts, mushrooms, or nuts, eat them now by right-clicking on them and go to sleep. It is also good to make sure that your fire has enough fuel for the night, unless you want to wake up bitten by some animals. Congratulations. You made it to the end of your first day, but that's not the end of your misery, I'm afraid. Once you wake up, it's a good idea to check your microelements by pressing F. Your clever smartwatch will tell you if you are missing on carbohydrates, proteins, fat, or water. And while the first three can be fairly easy to find if you look around hard enough, finding a source of clean water can be challenging in the beginning. The solution that I find the most versatile are coconuts. I kid you not, coconuts are the best things in this game. Search around a little, and you should be able to find at least one green oval shape laying on the ground. If you find it, look above because there should be more on the tree. You can bring them down with your axe, for example. Now hit it with one of your tools and place it in a backpack. Once it's there, you can right-click it to see your options. First, drink it. If you haven't drunk so far, you are probably already dehydrated or close to being. Second, eat the flesh. It's rich in fat, which is quite valuable. Now you have two halves of the coconut. Don't throw it away. Take it to your base and place it on the ground. Rains tend to happen a couple of times a day and are much safer to drink than the water from the lake. Even one coconut can keep you safely hydrated for a long time. Now the food, as I mentioned, you have 3 types of microelements you need to cover to stay healthy, but you will not know what effects specific food has until you eat it. Some can feed you, but some will give you the food poisoning, so you need to be very careful. In general, fruits and vegetables are the good source of carbohydrates. Meat is high in protein and nuts will cover your fat needs. Guttering is your way to go, even for meat. Snails, flatpyrids, toads and mice are quite common to find, and cooking their meat in a camp will keep you well fed before you are ready to start hunting, which we will cover in the upcoming tutorials. Now, with your days and source of nutrition, you are ready to go further and discover the mysteries of the green hell. Let me wish you good luck.